Hi there, my name's Vince from mymatevince.com, and in this video today it's going to be another trying to fix video, another video where I've bought something faulty off eBay and I'm going to do my best to fix it. Now in these videos I'm not a professional at these repairs, I just do them just for fun, just because I like taking things apart. So let's have a look, see what we have in here. Right, okay, so we have got a left Joy-Con from the Nintendo Switch, and it said from memory that there was water damage to it. So let me show you the listing and what I paid for this. Right, okay, so as you can see here, I paid £13.50 for this, and it just says Joy-Con left, grey 40 Nintendo Switch. There was loads of pictures with it, and it says down here, cylinder left Joy-Con for Nintendo Switch. The Joy-Con is completely faulty, it does not power on at all. I believe there may have been water damage as it does not charge up even when it was connected to the Switch. Cylinder's faulty with no returns for this Joy-Con. We will send first class same day if payment is made by that, and I will also send a picture of the receipt. And fair play, they did actually send a picture of the receipt, and I bought it and it was posted the same day and it arrived the next day. So £13.50 is actually a very good price, but obviously only if it can be repaired. Now I have got a few Joy-Con spares because around about a year ago I did actually break one of my Joy-Cons because I was trying to make a kind of Power Glove Joy-Con mix. And you can see all the soldered wires that I did onto the buttons because I wanted to make the Power Glove do the things that the Joy-Con would do. But this is actually a right Joy-Con, but I'm hoping that the batteries are the same. Maybe they share a couple of components, I don't know. So maybe between this and this I might be able to get it working, or possibly I might be able to get it working anyway. Now there definitely is no power to it. Just having a look at the screws, see if it looks like it's been opened up before. And I don't think it does. If you look in here, can you see the screws look to be perfect? There's some scratches on the back. There's quite a few scratches here, so obviously it has had a fair bit of wear. But it looks good, and even that little catch looks good there. And normally they chip really easy. So if it says water damage, may have been water damage, it's a kind of weird thing to say. So I would say that the chances is that it has been water damaged. But a bit strange why it's just set in one rather than the other, unless I don't know, unless it was like left on its side in somewhere and water got into this one. But first things, what we need to do is just verify the fault. So let me get my my switch. This is one that I repaired before, and let's see what happens when we plug it in. Oh well, there you go. Well, it's paired it, so low battery. It's working, but obviously it's got a low battery because it's been unplugged for a while. There we go. Mind you, it doesn't say. Shouldn't it come up with there that it's actually charging? Do you know what? Right, so that's saying it's charging. And now that's charging there. So, okay, first impressions are that it actually appears to be working. Right, what we'll do is let's do a quick test here. That would be a bit of a result because £13.50 is actually very cheap. I need to sort out this thing here because you can see it's all lumpy, but I think that would just need to be twisted a little bit and maybe a little bit of glue or something to get that on. Not sure, I'll have a look at that in a minute. Well, let's go down to system settings. See, maybe the person that was testing this might have put it onto the switch. It might have been the switch that was faulty, because what happens is there's little connectors down here, and also there's little connectors here as well that need to marry up. So or either that, or possibly they might have tested it a month ago and since then it might have all dried out. That's if it has been water damaged. You know, it doesn't look bad to me, but obviously I haven't looked at the inside of it. Let's test it because there might be buttons that's not working. Let's go to test input devices. Okay, so this button's not working well. You have to press it very hard. Can you see that? Look. But then, if I press it hard, it is working. But that's not how it should be. There, look. You have to press that one hard. Right, okay. Minus works. I don't think there's going to be enough power to check these ones. Let's see now. Yeah. Okay, they work. Pretty sure that sync button should work when you tap it. Oh, actually, it's not. Look, there's no light on it. Can you see there? It is working, but there's no light that's coming up on it. So with this one here, if I let this one sync up, this one's filthy. You can see that it's flashing. It's got a low battery. There we go, but it's flashing. It's got the light on it, but with this one there is no lights. Okay, so there must be a problem with here as well. Let's see if we can take a photo. Yeah, capture taken. Unable to take video. And let's do the analog stick. Oh, okay, I can't click on it, click in it. It's not letting me click in either. Right, so it has got faults on it. Yeah, the click in's not working. Okay, so unfortunately I can't test the analog stick. Right, okay, so we definitely have to take it apart, but it's not going to be as bad as what I initially thought. Hopefully I might be able to get, you never know, I might be able to just clean it out, might be able to get it working. Right, okay, so let's take this thing apart, see what's inside, and see if we can clean up the contacts, see if we can get this click in. So what appears to be not working is the click in. It does appear to be, you know, moving around the place, so that appears to be okay, but obviously at the moment I can't test a full range off the analog. You know, it could be working just as a D-pad for all I know, because I can't click in to test to see if it does small amounts, to see how accurate it is. Also, it looks like the lights are not working, but apart from that, oh, I didn't actually test the L and the ZL. Let me just do that again. Yeah. Well, okay, so there's definitely hope for this one. So left click in, that's what I need to sort out, and the fact that the lights are not lighting up. Right, okay, but it does appear that the Bluetooth is working, because when we're doing it here, it is actually doing it. Right, let's open it up and see what's what. Okay, just before I take it apart, I forgot to check a few things, so I might as well do that now, and then I'm fully aware of all the faults that I need to try and fix. So I need to test see if it works on its side. So I'm going to go to controllers, and I'm going to go to change grip order, and I'm going to hit these two buttons. Okay, so it's definitely synced up like that. Let's see if it's working. Right, okay, so it definitely works on its side. Now I need to check the vibration on it. So again, controllers, search for controllers, and okay, so that's working. And the last thing I need to check is the sync button, because the lights don't work. I can't tell if it does anything. So for that, I'm going to connect it up to this one. Okay, so now it's synced to this one here. Now I'm going to sync it up to this one, but I'm not going to put it on the actual console. I'm going to go to controllers again, and I'm going to go to change grip order, and this time I'm going to hit the sync button. Right, okay, so it's not doing anything. Right, okay, I'm just going to try it with this one here, because this is not synced up with this. This one is synced up with that one there. So now let's hit the sync button here. You have to hold it down. There you go, you can see it starts to go, and it should come up on here, which it does. Right, okay. Right, okay, so let's try that one more time on here. So hold it down. Right, okay, so the sync button's definitely not working. So the lights here and the sync button are faulty. But yet the SL and SR does work, so it looks like the ribbon cable is connected, and also it syncs up as well when I connect it on. Right, okay, so that's the things I need to fix are click in, left button here, lights not working, and also the sync button as well. And yeah, let's open it up and see if we can do that. Okay, so we're going to be using a tri-wing screwdriver. That's like a Nintendo screwdriver, which has got 3 points on it. You can get them very cheaply off eBay and Amazon. Right, okay, let's do this now. Okay, it definitely looks nice and clean. Doesn't look like there's any major faults on it. Right, okay. Let's dismantle it completely and see if we find anything, but from initial look in there, it does look normal. Just looking at the ribbon cable there, and I'm not sure if I can see just a little bit of corrosion. Can you see just in the middle there? So let's pop that out. Yeah, look, there's corrosion. Right, can you see there? Quite a bit of corrosion actually. Look at that. So that's why when it initially happened it wouldn't have worked. So I'm going to have to clean that up. Now that looks to be for the contacts down here, for, you know, like the charging and the syncing, and also to make the sound. I can't see how that would actually affect the lights. Okay, I can see on the lights there that there's corrosion as well, so they might be blown now. Can you see all around here? Down here. In fact, on every single one of them. Yeah, so this has definitely had water damage. Let me just hit this button. Right, the button feels to be working, but maybe what I can do is I can find the tracks that go onto it. I can't really see, but I'm wondering if I can find the points. Maybe it's these edge ones here. Maybe if I click it in, that this one connects to this one, or that one connects to that one, or that one to that one, and I might be able to test that. Right, okay. I think I'm going to take it apart. Well, I have to take it apart completely. In fact, I think I can feel slight wetness on my fingers. So let's dismantle it all, and then we can give it all a good clean. As well as that, I can see corrosion in here. Can you see the verdigris? Which, when copper goes wet, it gets green. It's called verdigris. Right, so this is all going to need to be cleaned. I'm going to dismantle it completely. Yeah, there's also corrosion on the battery contact there as well. Basically, there's corrosion everywhere. You can see the blue everywhere, the blue and green. The rumble motor down the bottom here, the HD rumble, which we know is working because the vibration's working. So this does actually look like it has been submerged in water, because there is damage to most of it. Again, you can see on that one there. And again on this one, you can see it's everywhere. Look at that. There you go, that's probably why the lights are not working, and the sync button. Look at that. Wow. Hoping it will all clean up when I use a bit of alcohol on it. Right, I'm going to dismantle the rest of this. So you can see all the cloudy bits, they're the bits that have water damage. It's actually amazing it's working as well as it is. Even if this was faulty, you can actually get these relatively cheaply from China. I think you can get them for like £4 or £5. Right, there we go, so that is one Joy-Con completely dismantled. So now we have the fun of trying to clean it all up and putting it together bit by bit and seeing if it works. So certain bits look like they don't need any work doing to them, but most of them do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a clean toothbrush, and I'm going to be using some alcohol, and I'm going to try to rub all this around the place and rub all the contacts to try to get them clean again, and hopefully they will come up clean. So let me get those bits together now. Okay, so I've got an old toothbrush. Obviously make sure you use one that's not going to be used again. I've got a little couple of kitchen towels, and I'm going to be using this alcohol here, which is like 99.9%. So this shouldn't cause any damage to any of the components, but yet hopefully it will allow me to clean it up with some gentle rubbing. I'm not going to go crazy on it. Right, okay, so it certainly looks much cleaner now. If you look at that, you can't really see any blue residue, I don't think, anymore. Might be a little bit up here. Hold on. Now I don't want to sort of scrape and clean too much, because this might be enough. You know, to me it looks pretty good now. So I'm going to put it back together, and if something doesn't work, it's not a problem. I'll take it apart again, and then I can concentrate more on that part. But there's no point in me spending hours on this now if that little clean that I did is going to sort it out. So remember, the sync lights and stuff weren't working. Obviously now if they're working fine. If they're not, then I can start testing the lights and the button and stuff like that afterwards. So basically, yeah, everything's been cleaned up. The only thing I'm not confident about is this one here with the click in, because it just doesn't appear to be as clicky as it should be. But who knows, when I put it back together it might be absolutely fine. If not, I'll have to try and take this apart and see what's happening on the inside. So that's what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to put it all back together. Right, okay, so that's it all back together. So what do you reckon, yes or no? I think it's all going to work apart from the clicking. Oh well, the lights look like they're still not working. Let's right, let's go to the controllers again. I really thought the lights would be working. Test input devices. Okay, well, at least that button's working now. Hold on. Yeah. Well, it's not working as good as it should be, because watch this, just very lightly. 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 No. You definitely have to hit it harder. That weird. Look. It's better than it was, because before you really had to press it hard, while now you don't have to hit it hard, but it's not as responsive as it should be. Right, okay, which other ones didn't work? We had that. We had the sync, the lights. My brain's gone blank. What was it now? It was the oh, the click in. No. Oh, well, that hasn't made a blind bit of difference. Right, okay. I was certain that was going to work. The lights are still not working. Right, let's see if that sync button's working now. Right. No, it's still synced to this one here. It hasn't synced to this one, hold on. Right, okay. It's still synced to there. I've actually made it worse. Right, okay. Isn't that unusual? So it shows you those pins do different things, because it is recognising it on here. No, it's not, look. So it makes that noise, but yet it's not recognised. Right, maybe I haven't put the connectors in as well as I thought I had. Or maybe with all the rubbing that I did, I've damaged the things that make it sync up. Nothing's ever straightforward. Well, I thought I was gentle with that. I didn't think that I would do anything to cause damage there. Right, let's take it apart again, just in case maybe I haven't pushed the ribbon cable in far enough. But actually thinking about it, looking at this one here, I mean, I gather that this one is for the lights and the buttons here, but look, that contact there is broken. If you have a look at the very edge of it, wait until it focuses in. There you go. Can you see just there where my fingers point at the very bottom? So obviously all those pins connect to the bits on the ribbon cable. So if it's snapped there, then that particular pin doesn't work. And if that's the pin, for example, if that's like one of the ground or something to, you know, connect up all the negative, to connect up all the lights, and it's not going to work. Okay, so this is an extreme close-up now of the contacts, and to me it looks like, you see this one here, looks like it's connected to both of them. So you can see that they're both broken here, away from here. So I'm wondering if I was to sand it down here using that fiberglass pen, whether I would be able to put a bit of solder between these two and this one here, because it both looks like they're on the same trace. So I mean, it would be easier to fix this one than, for example, this one here, because that looks like it's a wire for itself. Yeah, and if you have a look here, can you see these two are going onto the one trace? So maybe if I sand this back, I might be able to get a bit of solder between here and here. So I think that's what I might look into now. The odds of me doing this are very, very, very slim, because it's absolutely tiny. It looks big on the camera, but you know, when you zoom out you can see how small it is in relation to my finger. So I don't think it's going to work, but you know, I might give that a go. Well, okay, I'm going to get the soldering iron set up and see what we can do with this. Right, okay, I'm going to go and try the soldering iron. It's at 360 degrees C. I'm going to put a tiny bit of flux on here. Would I say a tiny bit? It's going to be flooded, isn't it? So now let's. I've got this thin solder. I'm just going to try and dab a bit on here. Really don't think it's going to be possible, but still, I'm going to do it by looking through the lens of the camera. I can't see well enough. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? Oh God, I've taken it. Have I taken it? I can't see what I'm doing. This is too fine for me. Oh. I'm on the wrong ones, aren't I? Feels so alien looking through the camera. Hold on, what did I do? 1, 2, it was the second and third, wasn't it? And now I've gone on to the fourth, so that's no good. And I've got too much solder on there. Let me try to use a little bit of wick. I only want a tiny, I need about a third of that amount. Let me see if I can wick any of that off. I wonder what that do. Hold on now. so hard to see. Can't zoom in any more than that. That's the maximum my camera will go. I can't tell whether the third one's gone onto the fourth one or not. I don't know whether there's a little bridge just there. Can't really tell, but I don't really want to go near it, because if it is okay, then would that work? You know what? I might try it. Get a bit of alcohol and clean it up. Do you know what? That might do. I might be lucky there, you know. Well, there's only one way to find out. I'll put it back together and see what see if it does anything. Right, okay. No, nothing's happening with it. No, I was sure that was going to be it. Oh, hold on, have I put it in the wrong way? I can't remember now. Maybe that goes in this way round. Maybe I've done it in the wrong way. Aha! Look at that! Look at that, a light! I had it in the wrong way. Look at that, we got a light. Oh my god. Right, let's hit the sync button. Hold on, that's turned it off. Now hold it down. Yes! Check it out! Whoa! It's worked! Brilliant. Right, okay. Let me just go onto the sync screen. Change grip order. There we go, that's worked. Right, let me get my other switch now and see if it will sync to this one. I can zoom out here. That's brilliant news. So it was just the fact that I had it in the wrong way. So you know, you just get confused when you're just throwing things back in together. Right, change grip order. So now let's see if it will sync to this one. Hold down the sync button. Right, so it's flashing there. There we go, it's paired up here. So now if I go on to SL, there we go. That's it. Right, okay, so that appears to be working, that bit there. So now we need to concentrate on this bottom one and also the analog stick to see what's happening with that. Right, okay, let me think what I'm going to do next and then I'll get back to the video. Right, I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to work on, just pull the battery out, I'm going to work on the button that's a bit sticky. So it is this button, it was this button here that's a little bit sticky. Right, okay, so it was this one here that was playing up a little bit. Yeah, there's a bit of corrosion there, look at that. Right, okay. Can you see there? Corrosion there. And there's corrosion on all of it. In fact, it looks a little bit mouldy. Excellent. Right, time to clean up this. So I suppose when there's a bit of rust in it, what will happen is it will make the contact if you press it hard enough, but it's not going to make it as soon as you just tap it. This fiberglass pen's definitely getting rid of it. I could always swap it for the other Joy-Con anyway. I just want to see if I can repair this without using other parts. Probably won't be as sticky when I put it back on. I hope I haven't dented these because they still need to be able to click in. Right, I'm just going to let that evaporate off. Right, okay, so a good month has passed since the part of the video that you've just watched there. And the reason is because I had to order some parts from China. I tried to fix this slider here, but it was pointless showing you what I tried to do because it was the same as before, but this time it wasn't successful. So I tried to solder. There was basically tiny little breaks in this again, but because these ones were much thinner, I couldn't actually, the soldering iron wouldn't solder them, and what was happening is solder was going in between, you know, 2 or 3 of them, and then the more I tried to do it, I ended up just removing more and more of the actual contacts from the board there, and now this is useless, so I had to order up one of these. And also the analog stick, I took it all apart and I couldn't get the click to work because this bit down here had actually become damaged. So this is at the very bottom, so this is the ribbon cable that goes into the board, and then this little bit of circuit board sits at the very bottom of the analog stick, and the analog stick goes on top here and it moves in between these contacts here and here. But this little button here is the thing that clicks. You might just hear that. And although it is clicking, it wasn't clicking as well as a working analog stick, and I couldn't get this bit to work here. So I took it apart and I didn't see any corrosion or anything on it. Obviously by taking it apart I was going to ruin it anyway, but I just wanted to see if there was corrosion, but there wasn't. But I couldn't get this to work, so I needed to get a new analog stick as well. Now it's not the end of the world because analog sticks are really cheap. Annoyingly, that was kind of expensive, especially considering it came from China. But let me show you what I paid for the stuff. So basically, if you have a look there, this is the analog stick I got. I just went for a cheap one. I don't know whether it's going to be off any, you know, whether it's going to be decent quality or not. I haven't taken them out to look at them, but I won't know that until it's been on there for quite a while, and then obviously after a few months it might start to play up. That can't be, I would presume, can't be as good as the Nintendo one, but who knows, it still might last years without any problems. So that was £2.68, and that was with free delivery, so you can see the analog sticks are really cheap. But let me show you that slider assembly. Right, so this is the left slider assembly here, and this one costs £6.17, and that was including free postage. And you've got to make sure you buy the correct one. So this is the left one because it's for the left Joy-Con. If you want to see the right one, you just click up here, go to the right slider with flex cable, and you can see it's the opposite way round. So it's still cheap, £6.17 still cheap, but when you add that onto the price of the analog stick, in which case then it's starting to make this Joy-Con actually quite expensive, and it's still a water damaged Joy-Con with, for example, a flex cable that I've already just soldered up. So in an instance like this, you know, you're not going to make any money buying something like this. Right, okay, so these are the parts that have arrived. So there's a analog stick there and a slider here. So the slider doesn't come with any buttons or anything, so I'm going to have to swap all that over. Analog stick is just going to be easy. It's just going to be a case of putting the ribbon cable in. It's got the cover. That feels nice and rubbery. Clicks in. To be fair, it looks, you know, first impressions, it looks okay. Right, so what we're going to do is put this in, and then hopefully it will all go together nicely, and then test it at the end, and then it should be working. So I'm just going to be fast forwarding through the connecting up again. Right, okay, so that's it all back together. Now we just need to put the back cover, the screws back on. Okay, so let's put it on the switch and see how it's performing. Now the battery is going to be completely flat, so I might not be able to do the full test, but let's have a look now, see if it's charging up. Yeah, okay, well it's actually showing a little bit of life in there now, it's green, right, okay. Let's try the analog stick. Alright, that's working there. Right, okay, well it's definitely functioning as an analog stick. Small movements, large movements. Now that's interesting. Look, if I go to the bottom, you can see it comes up with a full circle because it's going to the extremes. But when I go up, can you see it's not going to the extremes? I kind of have to force it. Yeah. Okay, so you might not notice it in any games, but definitely, look, when I'm just doing it normally, when I go up, can you see there? It's not going. I have to really press hard for it to go up. So there you go, that's probably the difference between the expensive analog sticks and the cheap analog sticks. So like I said, you might not notice it in any games, so I'm not going to criticise it too much. Remember, it was very cheap, but look, that definitely isn't normal. So it could be a case of you get what you pay for when you're buying analog sticks, which I thought might be the case, but I wanted to try it. Yeah, that's definitely not normal, because you can see when I'm doing a full circle, it keeps disappearing just up here. You see it's making a noise? Not anywhere else. Yeah, so there's definitely an issue up here. Alright, interesting to know. Right, let's try the other buttons. Let's see if this button on the left's working. Yeah, that feels normal. Click in, that's working fine. And just need to try the SL and SR. Yeah, that's fine. Right, okay, so yeah, was this a good one? No, not really. So basically I've spent probably in total around about the £24 mark, and as you can see, the analog stick's not perfect. Remember that I've already had to repair a ribbon cable. How long is that going to last? I'm not too sure. So in this instance here, it probably would have been better just to buy a new Joy-Con. Now, interestingly enough, normally you buy them as a pair, but I had a look on CEX and they're actually charging £38 for a left one, and the right one's only £30. So that says to me that the left ones must be wearing out quicker, probably because the analog stick gets used much more on the left than the right. I can't think of another reason why the left one would be more expensive. So yeah, I mean, I paid £24, and if I was to go down to the high street and buy one second hand, it'd be £38, but I believe you can get two of them for £70, so that's going to roughly be £35 each. So to pay £24 for a water damaged one, no, I probably don't really think it's worth it. But still, it was an interesting fix to see the inside of it and stuff. And it's kind of nice to know that you can buy these parts from China for not a huge amount of money. So overall, I've quite enjoyed the video, but the outcome hasn't been fantastic. But hopefully, you know, hopefully you enjoyed it. You got to see the inside of a Joy-Con, and now you know if you want to replace your analog sticks, you can do cheaply, but it probably would be better to spend a little bit more money and get an OEM part, and then I think it would perform more like the Nintendo ones. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and please subscribe for more trying to fix videos and how-to videos as well. Take care, bye now.